Puppet Master 6, Curse of the Puppet Master. Now, this is one of the Puppet Master movies that I feel like, even though the whole franchise is very low budget, it's supposed to be low budget. It's a low budget horror movie from a low budget horror company. But rewatching Puppet Master 6, the Curse of the Puppet Master, it really is like it's weird to say because it is already low budget like all the other ones, but this is way more low budget than the other ones. The way it looks is really terrible, like in a lot of ways. The way that there's a lot of shots where it'll be bright outside, and then there are shots to where it'll be completely almost dark outside or dreary. Like they couldn't film scenes in the same day. And also the fact that they're using, not every time, but almost every time, virtually using puppet footage from every other Puppet Master movie before this. And it does not match up with the scene that they are in. That made this way more, like, worse to me in that fact. But honestly, I thought that this was one of the more interesting stories out of all of the Puppet Master movies I've watched so far. Because even though it's not about the psychics this time, and I don't know why the psychic plots in like 1 and 2 really do nothing for me, and that's why 1 and 2 I think are some of the weaker Puppet Master movies, because they're really boring because of the psychic things. I don't know why the psychic stories in these movies don't do much for me. So I liked the fact that we got this one where it's like there's this guy named McGrew who has learned Toulon's magic method, so like he's controlling the puppets. And he's trying to create puppets from humans. Like he's trying to create a new way of life, like literally experimenting on humans to make them into puppets. And he finds this dumb kid named Tank, who him and his daughter take in, and he tries to make it look like that he's got good intentions, but what he's trying to do is transform him into a puppet. Which the story, like I said, is not like a good story. I mean, it's fun, it's entertaining, but like I enjoyed it more, and I felt like this was more watchable than 1 and 2. Even though it has worse things about it, like I said, like how it's filmed is bad, how they use the puppet footage from the other movies is really bad. They couldn't even make the money to have actual puppets moving in this movie. Like, I mean, except for a couple of scenes, they're brief. And I wonder if they maybe just ran out of money or something, because they did it a couple times where there are actual scenes in this movie where the puppets move around, or they're just picked up by somebody and you can't see their hand. So they do a lot of tricks to make it look like the puppets are moving, but they're really obvious tricks. Like, they're easy to tell what they are doing. Like, they're not actually moving, they just got a hand underneath them moving the puppets around. So that's worse in this movie than all the other ones, the puppets, in terms of that they don't move and they're using footage from the last 5 movies. But like I said, the story I thought was more interesting. Like, it's silly and hokey, of course, like all these movies are. But I like this one, and I like this plot. And I thought that the Tank character was really stupid, and it annoyed me a little bit. But as the movie went along, I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I liked how he had these kind of nightmares of where he kept, like, even though nothing's happened to him, I like how he's had some nightmares that say he'll wake up, and then he'll have, his stomach will be a full robotic stomach, or I mean a full animatronic stomach, to where he's got gears like moving inside his stomach. Or he'll have another nightmare where he'll wake up and his legs are just puppet legs. Like, that's cool. Like, I thought that, I mean, it's very simple. For a low-budget horror movie, it's a very simple plot and simple stuff like that. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this movie a lot, even though it has a lot of worse things than all the other ones. But there's more things in it that I think are really annoying. Like, why the hell is Leech Woman here? Did they even watch Puppet Master 2? Like, literally, she dies in Puppet Master 2. And she's brought back in 3, but 3 is a prequel. And she's not in 4 and 5 because they knew that she wasn't alive after 2. But then she's suddenly alive in this one. And and I just watched The Legacy, which is awful, and apparently they don't even like imply if Curse of the Puppet Master is before or after Puppet Master 1 and 2. But I kind of like to think, because it doesn't really contradict it, but I kind of want to think that, like, this movie Curse is set before the first one, because Leech Woman dies in the second one. And this doesn't mention anything about the psychics or anything, or, like, anything about the Bodega Bay, so this is a very one-off Puppet Master movie that really doesn't have anything to do with any other ones. So you could kind of interpret it being anywhere else in the timeline, and I'd say it could be before the first one, because it doesn't contradict anything besides the fact that Toulon hid the puppet trunk in that place in the Bodega Bay, but I think somebody took that out, because I haven't seen the Axis movies yet, but those movies are after the fact of the first one, I think, or the flashback to the first one, where Toulon commits suicide, and then the puppets, like, they have like fun in World War II after he dies, I think. So I feel like you could say that this is between the first one and all the other prequels to it. So I feel like it could be, because it literally doesn't contradict anything. This doesn't mention any other movies. It's just they're there with the puppets, these characters. The puppets are just there. So yeah, like I said, the idea is cool of Tank trying to be turned into a puppet, but like I said, the movie's bad in a lot of ways, but it's interestingly bad. Like, it's fun. Even though it's horribly shot and has just puppet footage from the last couple movies. And it feels way more or less low budget than the other ones. But like I said, the plot still interested me more. It was still interesting. And the ending. This is, again, a thing where I'm like, this is fun, but then why did you have to do that? Because the ending, it's like Tank gets turned into a puppet. Like, he actually does. Like, he gets turned. And it turned into a puppet in this movie is just him, where there's this little robot puppet and it's got like a screen on it, so whenever he gets transformed into the puppet, it's just his face on the little robot screen, which was really silly, but it was fun. It made fun for a fun, cheesy charm for this movie, because this movie is, of course, cheesy like the other ones, cheesy and fun and low budget. But I thought that was funny that he gets to be turned into a puppet. And then he goes and shoots a laser into McGrew, like, from him. Like, he has this laser thing. And then the girl, I forgot her name already, she screams, like, no! Like, the daughter. And, like, don't kill him, Tank. Or Robert, like, his name's really Robert. But don't kill him, Robert. And, like, he zaps him with the laser in his eyes, and his eyes start getting all lasered. And then his face starts getting all lasered, and then she screams, and it ends. And literally there's no connection to this to any other of the movies. Even in Legacy, they just mention it, but they don't even, like, really refer to it. Like, they show scenes from it, but it doesn't really add anything up to anything else. So this is a strange one-off Puppet Master that literally does not have any connection to any other ones, besides the fact that the puppets exist or are in this movie, and Leech Woman is in it, even though she died in Part 2. But like I said, you can maybe interpret that this is before 1 and 2, because, like I said, I think that trunk that Toulon had the puppets in after he committed suicide was taken out in the Axis movies, I think. I haven't seen the Axis movies, but I think that's what they do. I think they find his stuff, like his trunk, and takes it out, and they use the puppets to fight other Nazi puppets, is what I heard the Axis movies are like, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm excited to see those. But overall, this is a strange one-off Puppet Master movie. And even though it's in a lot of ways worse, it's a lot of ways better. So, I don't know. It is really cheesy fun despite having a lot of worse things about it.